Hello. Been having internet issues all. Let's find our comments down here. So welcome if you are joining us live today as a part of the, what are we doing today? The Great International Craft Show. I don't know whether I'm coming or going today. It's going to be a day like that. Busy, busy, busy. So pop in a comment and say hi so we know that, so I know I am going live. Hang on, I've just scrolled off the screen. Let me move this keyboard out of the way. And we'll get started. So hello and welcome. It's Melinda from Scrapbooking and Craft. So I thought, why is my chair really low? I feel like I'm at... Oh, no, my chair's just being a pain. I felt like a kid at a really high table then. So I'm just going to go on my phone while people are still coming in and just double check that it is working. Yes, seems to be working. So welcome. It's Melinda from Scrapbooking and Craft, and I thought today we'd come on and do a bit of art journaling. It's sort of, this Great Australian Craft Show is a lot of art journaling, card making and mini canvases projects this time. I just didn't get my head around the scrapbooking page. Art journaling comes a lot easier to me, and I can sort of do it without having a plan. With the scrapbook page I find I need a plan, then I need a photo, then I need a match, and yeah, sometimes it's just all too hard. So I'm enjoying art journaling more at the moment. So what I didn't show you yesterday was my daughter's paper napkins. Now, we sell paper napkins on the site. They are fantastic in art journaling, card making. I actually use the first three in some cards in the classroom of the Great Australian Craft Show this afternoon at 4:30. That is a subscription service, but don't worry if you don't want to pay the $20 a month subscription fee to access that part of the show. The classes will be shown again in video form on my YouTube and Facebook pages. Cannot do words. After a month, so middle of March, they'll be released for free. So don't worry if you're not wanting to be part of that classroom. I know it's not for everyone. So I did want to just flip through the napkins that my daughter has put up this month. My daughter is 13, and as a part of her schooling, we decided last year she could sell paper napkins. Well, she decided Mummy had way too many in her stash. Oops. I have a bit of a thing for paper napkins. Actually, since she's put them up and selling them, I've used them a lot more, which is a good thing actually. So I'll just flip through a couple of the ones she's put up. She's put out about 25 new ones. All her napkins are on sale, whether the new ones or the old ones, 25% off. We sell them in packs of 2 for the oops factor. I like more than one napkin in case I stuff it up. Most napkins have 4 of the same image on them or an overall pattern, so you get loads to play with. So we've got peacocks, which are really cool. We've got some patterns. This one's really nice with the bike and the balloon. Then we've got some funky flowers. Lots of Australiana ones on the website as well. I don't believe this one got uploaded last time. It may have. Sometimes we double up because we think we haven't bought it, but we have. Dots, I used that one in yesterday's art class with the classroom. This one is really cool. Can't wait to do something with that. I'm going to use some napkins today. I just don't know which one. We've got some funky flowers. So Alexis and I picked sort of quite a diverse range of napkins to sell, and I like using quite a diverse range. So these ones, for example, you could fussy cut out the butterflies. A lot of times I use them in the background. I love these feathers. There's a few feathery ones maybe. Okay. I don't know. There's dream catcher ones. Oh, maybe the dream catchers. I want to use just every napkin today. Some more funky dream catchers, some smaller ones. More dream catchers. Horses, which I thought were really cute. That'd be nice running across your page. Some poppy flowers. Some abstract type feathers, and then just some more general flower ones. This one's really cool. Effects. I know this one's a bit plain, but it'll be fun to add in the background. So napkins are great because whatever's white goes very translucent when you stick it down, and whatever colours under these white elephants will show through. You can put book text under it, you can put them onto music paper, you can put them straight in your art journal. There's a variety of ways, and there's lots of videos on my Facebook and YouTube channel of different ways to use them. I love this birdie treehouse too. And the last couple, and then we'll get into the art journal page. Some sprinkles and some animal print. But today, what I want to play with is a couple of our new products, and I think I want to play with the feathers and maybe the dream catcher. Let's pull those two out. Which one do I like? There was another dream catcher one, or am I this one and this one? They sort of match. So we'll get to the napkins in a bit. We'll just put them off there. So today I thought I would play with this lovely girl. So this is one of my new release stencils. So she's on the website. She's about an A4 size. And she will be very pretty to use. I thought she's got lots of this hair too. That'll be great to add designs in and add Zentangling in and do all that sort of fun stuff. Then I grabbed out this. Now this is one of our white art journal embellishment range. It's made out of 400 GSM mixed media cardstock, so it's sort of a, you could use it as a stencil, won't last very long. They are coming out in stencil form in March. I've just heard my stencil plastic is delayed again, so we're probably looking at middle or the end of March at the moment to get more stencil plastic. There are some available on the website, but unfortunately when they sell out, we'll just have to wait for new material to arrive. So I might use some of this as an embellishment and stick some pieces on. We will wait and see. So let's start getting messy. I'll just put those over to the side. So today I'm working in an altered book. Now I prefer working in altered journals. This is a motoring book. I love this funkiness. I don't think I'm going to do anything to this page. I just love the car. Not really into cars, but I pick books because I like the paper and I like the size more than what's on the actual pages. Sometimes I will incorporate the black and white images. Sometimes I won't. All I've done to prep my page is I've thrown some gesso down. And if you haven't heard of gesso before, gesso is an undercoat. So basically the text was really, really dark and intense. And we have just put a thin layer of white gesso down to knock back the words. So they're going to be there, but they're not going to be fully there. And I apologise, words are not going to come very easy today. I'm super, super tired. I was contemplating having a nap instead of coming live, but I thought, no, I better show up. Hey, Beverly, how you going? So, what are we going to do first? I've sort of got an idea in my head. I sort of haven't, but there's a lot going on in my head at the moment, so it's just not the right thing. So I'm going to start with some Dina Wakley paints. Let's pick some colours. I've just got a bunch up here from the other classes I've been doing. So what colours do I want to go with today? I did those sort of colours yesterday. Let's go with cool colours. What else have I got? Oh, that'd be funky. Actually, that one. I might go with these sort of colours, actually. Oh, now I'm just going to change around my colours 100 times. I'm being very indecisive. So all I'm going to do is put a base of colour down, and then we might bring a stencil in as well. So I like the Dina Wakley paints because they're heavy body. Basically, it just means they're a bit of a thicker paint than normal. Where's my spatula thing? I've got everything buried under my desk. So just going to use a silicone brush just to apply the paint. Probably need a bit more paint. I need to go shopping and buy some more of this colour. Love this colour. This one is lime. I've been using it loads. So I just want to scrape the paint out nice and thin. I'm not really minding if it's total coverage or a bit of the background showing through. Just basically want to get some colour in the base, on the base of the page. I like putting colour down first before I put my napkins on, because then if there's a piece of napkin that's white, it will pick up some of this colour. No reason why I can't do it the other way. There's no right and wrong way to art journal. Just sometimes there's a few rules to follow to get a better looking page, or a not a better looking page, a more successful page, I should say. Lots of drying in art journaling as well. You got to dry between the layers. So I'm really not thinking. I'm just slapping paint down wherever I think it needs to go. Sort of like to put in about 3 different sections. So I've sort of got a blob up here, a blob down here, and a biggie blob over here. Just going to give this a quick heat. Not going to dry it completely. I just wanted to take a bit of the wetness off the top of it, because I'm spreading it out with the silicone wedge tool. It's a very thin layer of paint, so it won't take long to dry. It's very humid here in country Victoria. I've got my window open next to me, so if you hear rain or you hear noises, that's what it is. Should be pretty quiet today. Looks like we're almost going a foresty, naturey theme. So I could definitely use a paintbrush, I could use a baby wipe. I love playing with the spatula tool, it's fun. Get some really cool lines in it. Just got to be careful when you're working with colours. You don't want to add colours. I'm just trying to move some of this stuff I've got all over my desk so it's not in my way. You're just wanting to be careful when you're working with colours that you don't want to add colours wet that will then make mud. So you want to think back to that lovely colour wheel we were taught in primary school. And colours that sit next to it themselves on the colour wheel as you go round won't make mud, but if they're opposites, like if I went and added blue to this orange, it would actually make mud. But the orange to the green won't. I want to leave a bit of white space as well. I'm trying to do that in my artwork lately, or my journal pages. I am swapping hands just because it's easier. I'm filming in a new desk setup and I'm a little low than I like to be. I've got to configure another desk. So I feel like almost a kid at an adult's table. That's a bit tall. Hello Alexis, my daughter's just walked in the room. What can I do for you? I'm currently live, so I can't do much apart from talk. You're not going to talk? You're going to say hello to everyone?
Hi.
She's a teenager, so not many words come out. She's hiding in her bedroom. Okay, I want to give that a quick more of a buzz. Oh, teenager's retreating back to her bedroom. Obviously wasn't that important. She probably wants lunch. It is 12:30. That's right. So we're going to add some yellow. And again, this is just our base layer, so it's looking like a hot mess. Often my art journal pages go through the hot mess stage before they come out. Someone just said hello to you, Alexis. On the live. Rosie said hello. Rosie said hello. Wrong one. I think she's gone down back to her bedroom, Rosie. Oh, there goes the bedroom door. Teenagers. Probably come out to raid the fridge. I had her helping me yesterday packing shapes, so she's saying she's now tired today. I don't know. I want a little bit of colour up there. What am I going to put? Let's put green. Where'd my green go? Oh, over there. I want to leave this little bit of white space around the edge. And I'm just playing today. I sort of have a plan in my head, but I really don't. I often don't when I art journal. I just start and then sort of, I have an idea I want to use that stencil and maybe some of those white words and maybe some napkins, but I really don't have an idea of what it's going to look like. Apart from that. Just looking for my makeup sponges that I need in a moment. Rosie, oh, is Alexis playing shy today? Yes. I'll tell you a story about Alexis this morning. She yells at me at 7 a.m. in the morning, help, and I'm thinking, what? Help, Mum, the bunnies have escaped. My daughter has 2 bunny rabbits that live in her bedroom. And they sort of have a cage, but then they're allowed a free roam on half of her bedroom floor, and we sort of have it sort of sectioned off. And they're not supposed to go under the cage and out onto her side of the room. But they did this morning, little cheeky bunnies. So they ended up getting under her bed. So we spent the next hour chasing these bunnies around her room, trying to get them out of the under her bed and back in their side of the cage. So then we spent a further half an hour bunny proofing and cable tying a lot more of the cage together. A lot more of the sort of the cage that separates the 2 bits. So she's a bit tired, and we're up late last night. I was working late. I'm actually going to use this as a bit of a stencil. I do have it in stencil plastic, but I'll show you that you can use it in the paper form as a stencil. It just won't last long, like as long as a plastic stencil. What I might do is do some subtle, told you words aren't going to come today, some subtle stenciling. So I'm going to use the same colours I did, and I'm going to decide on a colour in a minute. Green. So I'm going to do some lime green. I'm going to be very indecisive today. I want to take some of this orange away. So this particular stencil, I suppose you could call it a mask, because when you put it down, you're stenciling between the letters. So if I put it down here over top of the orange, my letters are going to stay orange, but I'm going to put green in the background. Clear as mud. Hi Kathy, how you going? Are you ladies all looking forward to the retreat in 2 weeks with Hillbilly? I've got 3 fantastic classes to teach. I'm so excited. That's what I was doing up late last night. I was cutting Miss Jenny from Hillbilly Scrapping stencil, not stencils, chipboard she needs, because I'm heading out to her place at the weekend, and we'll be doing some fun lives together the next couple of days. We're getting up to all sorts of mischief. Won't that be fun? So I think I've got just about everything ready for the retreat now. I've just got to cut some new products that I'm bringing up. That is very subtle. That's all right. I wanted it subtle, maybe. Let's swap to a different colour. Let's go orange. Cheddar. Yes, can't wait, Kathy. I am counting the days too. I need a 3-day break from my life at the moment. I've been dealing with a lot of stuff that's not business stuff, and I'm not going to answer my phone those 3 days. Well, unless it's my daughter, but she'll be her dad, so I won't really answer the phone, because I don't know about any issues. I don't want to answer the phone to anyone from doctors, from the NDIS. I've had a bucket load of that stuff lately, and I'm just over it. I just can't wait for a 3-day crafty break. I think we're all hanging out for it. It'd be lovely to catch up with everyone again. It's been fun doing the virtuals last year, but it's also, I love the in-person ones as well. Let's do a little bit more of this up. Where am I going to put it? Up here. I can't wait. A fantastic new stock she's been showing, and it's like, ooh, that's pretty, that's pretty. I don't need any more stuff, but I'm sure I'll come home with. If you ladies leave me any at the retreat, I can buy some as well. Not that I need anything else. Trying to be good this year and use what I've got, but that'll last probably 5 minutes. Just putting a bit of stenciling up here. So the bonus of stenciling through this is now you've got a coloured piece you can use. Just wondering if I want to do that. Hi Beverly, how you going? Now what do I want to do? Wondering if I want to do some olive. I've got lots of orange here. That's alright, I'll do something with that in a minute. Bring in a bit of the olive colour and make it a bit darker. So I'm just playing around today. I really don't have an idea in my head. I'm very, very tired today. Oh, I don't know whether I'm coming or going lately. I'm doing a lot of travelling. I was in Melbourne for a doctor's appointment on Wednesday. Yesterday I was home, which was Thursday. Tomorrow I head to... Today, no, what's today? Today's Friday. Today I head to Swan Hill. See, I don't even know what planet I'm on lately. Tonight I head to Swan Hill. Sunday I get back from Swan Hill. Monday I go to Melbourne again. Really? That's just life at the moment. Oh, I don't know whether I'm coming or going. Yes, Swan Hill does feel like months ago. I can't believe it was only November. I can't believe where January's gone. Hello, where did January go? So just doing a bit of this olive stenciling, talking about everything else but my art journal. It's like, where did January go? It can't be February already. I'm not ready for February. I've tried with it 2021. I don't like it. Can I have a refund? I saw that in a meme the other day and I thought, oh, that's just perfect. Okay, I don't know what this is looking like. It's looking alright. Different colours than I usually use, but they're the colours that are hanging out on my desk, so let's just go for it. Let's give this a bit of a dry and then I'll think about what I'm doing next. Let's just hope, Rosie, that Echuca wasn't as hot as Swan Hill. That was an interesting weekend. Now, I don't think these napkins I actually chose will now match my colours. That was intelligent. Let's go back and see if we find something else. Oh, that might match. That might work. Let me just have a quick flip through those. And I could use those. That would probably match. I tend to do this. I start with, oh, I'm going to use this particular product, and then I start, and then it doesn't work because I change my colours and I change my idea. No, that won't go. That won't go. Alexis, you obviously picked napkins that don't go with my paint this time, so we're going to swap back and we're going to do these two. Oh. See, I shouldn't make plans because then my plans, let's use this one first. Plans always change. That's my life lately. I book an appointment or I make a plan and then stuff happens and my plans get changed. Been doing a lot of that lately. It's just so when using paper napkins, they have a couple of layers, either a 2-ply or a 3-ply. A ply means basically layer. So we've got to get this white layer off. So there's a bit of texture on the edge. If you go into the flat bit, you can usually do this with your fingers, going one either side, and start to separate the layers. Some napkins are stubborn and don't want to play nice. Aha, got it. You sort of got to be fairly gentle, but you've got to be a bit rough too. So you can see I can pick either side, and I sort of work it to the edge. Once I've got the edge separated, it's a bit easier to get off. So this one looks like it's only got like 2-ply, so 2 layers. Some have 2 white layers plus your pattern layer, just depending on the brand of napkin or the quality of the napkin. But a good test is if you flip to a book page, you lay your napkin down, you should be able to just sorry, just scrolling on the comments. So if you can't just about read your text and it's too opaque, that means you need to take off another layer. Actually, I do like the colours here. So when I glue this down, the white between the images will almost disappear. So how do I want to do this? Do I want chunks? Do I want bits? Do I want, what do I want? I don't know what I want. So our face stencil, it's going to go like here, say. Yes, there was a sweatbox in Swan Hill. That was, yes, that was horrible. But then again, I'm sort of used to it because I really don't have aircon in my house at the moment, long story. My daughter has aircon in her room, and that's the only place that we have it in the house currently. Actually, I'm thinking I might do a border down each side, something different. So if you're wanting to just tear up the napkin and have random chunks, you just go and tear it. But if you're wanting a bit more of a, like a more defined shape, you just grab a wet paintbrush and just paint water on the napkin. You just got to be fairly careful because the napkin, once it gets wet, is more fragile than it is when it's dry. So we're just going to gently pull where we've done our wet line, and then I'm going to stick that bit over there. I'm going to do the same to the other side. I usually don't do borders with the napkins, but I thought, why not? We'll do something. Don't fly away. The wind, beautiful breeze coming through my window at the moment. Lisa Rich River Golf Club should have a lovely aircon this time. So I've done quite a wide line of water. You don't need to do as wide, but just gently separate it. There we go. I'll put that over there to dry. Now I'm going to glue this on. Now when you're gluing napkins on, don't mind me for a minute, I was just going to get rid of this paint that I'm about to put my arm in, but that's right, I'm going to be good and not put my arm in it. So what I like to do is, what I like to glue my napkins on with, or any thin paper like rice paper or tissue paper, is Liquitex Matte Gel Medium. So you're wanting really a liquidy glue because this is a thin paper. So I'm just going to grab my paintbrush. I'm just going to put a layer on my page where my napkin is going to go. This also comes in a gloss medium as well. You don't want the gloss because it's actually going to leave like a glossy look on your page, unless that's what you want. So I like the matte one because you almost can't see the glue. You're going to see some of this pattern come through the napkin. So a generous layer where you want your piece to go. Gently pick up your napkin, stick it on. Doesn't matter if it overlaps, I will cut that off later. Now you want to start sort of in the middle and go out, and this is going to seal your napkin on. You want to have a generous amount of the matte gel medium on top of your brush, and you don't want to go back and over and over and over it again. You sort of want to do it once, maybe twice, because going over the top of it you can tear the napkin. If you're going for the torn look, the distressed look, not so much of a big thing, but if you're wanting more of a, just going to pull that a bit because I've got a few wrinkles down the bottom. It will wrinkle up a little, but the napkins give a nice texture. So as you can see, it's going quite translucent now. You can sort of see where you need to add more glue because it's more opaque. I'm just being extra careful. There we go. Now I'm going to do this side. So I'll dry that with a heat tool in a minute after I've done this side. I'm actually on Saturday, which is tomorrow, I'm actually going to do a big talk on, we'll share it to my Facebook page as well, but I thought it would be a good idea to do a big talk on gesso, matte medium, when to use what and stuff, because it can get quite confusing in mixed media. So what I'm going to do when I get up to Hillbilly Scrapping is I'm going to grab all her products off her shelf. I'll make Jen put them back after I'm done the live, and we're going to talk through the different mediums she has, why we use them, and then you can ask any questions. Not sure of the time we're going to do that yet, so stay tuned to the Facebook pages and we will post up the times when we work that out. So it'll be great, you'll be able to come on and ask any questions, because I know that's one of the biggest questions I get is, what glue do I use for this product in art journaling, or how do I use this product, or why do I need 3 lots of gesso that have different names or different colours in my stash? Because you do. So that'll be a good reference video also to go back on, so if you do get confused. And if you can't catch it tomorrow for any particular reason, because it is a weekend, it will be recorded, so you can always go back and watch it. So So the lives we probably do will be streaming on Hillbilly's Facebook page, but once the lives start, I'm going to share them to my page as well. So Hillbilly Scrapping and I do a lot of work together. We do some shows together. I come and teach at all her retreats. It's lots of fun. She has the best stuff for me to buy and spend all my profits on. Liking how that's looking. So if you have extra matte gel medium, you can just paint it on the page. It's not going to have a big, not going to make a big difference. It's going to have a little bit of gloss, a little bit of a shine to it, but it's not going to have as much as a gloss. Just make sure you wash your paintbrushes really well because it is an acrylic glue. So just going to give this a dry off. I can let it naturally dry a bit while I work on somewhere else on the page. I just want it a little bit dry. I'm trying to avoid this orange paint down here, right in the bottom right hand corner, because I know I'm going to stick my elbow in it at some stage. I'll get rid of that in a minute. Okay, so that's needs a bit more drying on this side. So as that is drying, we might do some more stuff on the page. I'm just going to turn my book and get rid of this orange paint, because I'm sure my arm's going to end up in it. So I've just got some drop paper on my desk that I spread out my paint on. I should have a paint palette, but I've got computers and monitors and laptops and stuff all over my desk, and my crafting room has shrunk. Okay, now we might, yeah, we can do that. Okay, so now we might play with our stencil, or do I want to play with a different stencil? So we might put our face on. We'll put our face on, put our face stencil on, and I've just dropped something on the floor, bear with me. Okay, so my idea was to stencil her in black, and then I want to do a bit of pen work in white over the top of her. So I'm going to use black gesso. I could use just black straight paint, but black gesso is sitting on my desk, so that's what we're going to use. And the gesso also has a bit of hidden grit in it, so it will take the white pens a bit better than a paint. I'm just going to fold that down. So I thought this stencil you could use in so many different ways. You can use just the eyes and mouth if you want to just do a face and then do your own hair, or collage and do all different things. And then I thought these wavy lines would make really cool lines to do other stuff in as well. So even though it's one stencil, you don't have to use it as one stencil. I'm just going to grab some black gesso out. Black gesso is fantastic to have in your stash. Yes, you can mix white gesso with any colour paint, but it does make it go, it's not really going to work. Let's get that little bit of lid out so it's not making a horrible noise. So you can't actually make black gesso. If you mixed black paint with white gesso, you're going to get sort of a grey. Hi Tabitha, how are you going? You've been out and about today. I've been out and about enough lately. So when I'm stenciling, I want to use a makeup sponge, but I don't want to have a lot of paint in my sponge, so I'm just going to tap it off. You almost want your sponge to look empty, so you don't want big globs sitting there, because it's going to go under your stencil and that's not going to be very good. Now I'll work out where I want my stencil to be. I sort of want to sitting, I don't know, I sort of left this bit blank because I thought that's where her eyes and mouth would go, so she didn't have like writing over her face. So let's line that up so she doesn't have writing over her face. That should be a good start. So about there. So I'm just going to hold the stencil down and go in an up and down motion. Apologise if the desk wiggles a little. I think I've fixed that problem. So every time I load up my sponge, I'm just going to tap off. I'm just going to have a sneaky peek. Yep. If you have too much paint on your sponge, it'll actually leak under your stencil and you won't get a really good look. Just going to move my hand around. Whoops. This lid wants to jump around on my desk. So black gesso and white gesso also dry to more of a matte finish. If I use black acrylic paint, it may have a bit of a gloss to it, which is not sort of the look I'm going for. I need some more black paint. I knew that would happen. I didn't grab quite enough out. I should grab out too much or not enough. Now I've probably got too much. Just want our hair pieces to be quite dark, so I want to do some pen scribbling on it, I think, or pen writing or something. Let's just call it something. Oops. Let's see what she looks like. Oh wow, she's looking pretty cool. Have I missed any bits? I think she's looking pretty good, except we've got bits of, oh, I don't have a bin, where am I going to put that? Bits of sponge coming out. That's okay, these are just cheap makeup sponges. I tend to not wash my sponges, so I just buy the cheap ones that fall apart. Ooh, she's looking really cool. Where am I going to put a wet stencil that I will not get paint anywhere, but I shouldn't? Over there. It's going to give that a bit of a dry. Put the lid back on my gesso. Now because I have a fair big blob of black here, I want to incorporate some more black into the background somehow. So let's think about how we're going to do that. Especially on this side of the page, I sort of like the pages to not sort of match, but whatever elements I use over here, I want to chuck them over here a little. Let's get rid of this excess napkin that's hanging on the edge while I'm thinking about what I'm going to do with the black. I'm thinking a black border. That would look really cool. Just trying to get this bit. I thought I could pull this napkin off, but it's being rather stubborn. And I don't think I glued right to the top. Let's fix that before I go on. I obviously didn't get glue right to the top of the napkin because it wants to come down. And we'll cut this side off while we're... Sometimes you can just pull the bits of napkin off, other times you have to cut it off. It just depends on... That one I can just pull off. Okay. I'm wondering what a black border done in this might look like. So if I do just 2 lines... Let's see what that looks like on a scrap bit of paper before I go and wreck my page. Just going to move my journal out of the way for a minute. So I just want to go and just do the top 2 lines of this and see what it looks like. I don't know if it might look like a cool border. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. Sometimes things think they... I can't even talk today. Sometimes I have a thought of a good idea and then it doesn't translate to the page. But I'm thinking we might do a border on top and bottom, and then I'll work out what I do down the sides. Now I need more black gesso. So is anyone crafting along with me today, or playing just in their own craft and listening to me waffle? Oh, now I can't get... Nearly had a disaster. I was going to say, now I can't get the lid undone. I need a bigger table, or less stuff on it. Maybe that's the problem. Okay. Now I'm going to take the baking paper out because that's being a problem. I don't want to go in front of her because I sort of want to have her in the background. Now we're just going to go and do this on the top and the bottom. And I'll probably move my book upside down because it's easier for me to stencil down here as opposed to trying to do it up the top of my book. So I like to go over the napkins. When I use napkins, I sort of like to do either put them under paint and incorporate them in, or I like to put paint over the top of them just so they don't look like they're floating or sticking out like a sore thumb. I want to ink where my fingers are. I need to get my fingers out of the way. Actually liking that. That looks really cool. This text does not say any particular words. It's just what they call, I think the word's a semic writing. Rosie, you've just finished working on a kit. I've had a sneak peek of the kits that Hillbilly's bringing out for the retreat. Oh, some of them are gorgeous. Well, they're all gorgeous, but oh, I really like one of them. It doesn't even have my chipboard on it either. That's a bit weird. The one I liked, that's terrible. The one I like doesn't have my chipboard on it. Jen's done some amazing work in the last couple of weeks since she's got back from Brisbane. Their own, where to put the gesso take on the kits as well. Could be worse. I just dropped a container of rice pudding. Whoops. I just made it and it shattered all over the floor. Oh no! Well, that's not too bad because I don't like rice pudding. That's no good. It shattered all over the floor. Now you've got to pick it up and clean it up. That sounds like me. We got groceries last night and got groceries delivered, and I bought some bug spray for spiders. It's supposed to be better than the aerosol stuff, and I know I unpacked it from the Woolworths bag. I know I got into the house, but I went to use it last night, and do you think I know where I put it? I have no idea where I put it, and it's like, oh, so frustrating. Shouldn't be put. Alexis might have taken off with it, actually. I must go ask Alexis. But we often get groceries into the house, then they disappear. It's one thing I can't eat is rice pudding, and it's all my father's fault. Oh, I'm liking the page. I don't know, what does everyone think of the page? Do you think it's a hot mess? Probably would tie in with my head being a hot mess. I'm wondering if I need to do it down the sides, but do it sort of like that, or do I just like it across the top? Problem is, if I put it on there, I don't like it, I can't take it off. Let's go for it. Down the side. Yes, anything dropped on the floor is hard to clean up. Especially rice pudding, it's all sticky and yuck. Hopefully I like it when I take this off. Yeah, it's alright. Not hating it, which is good. For me, art journaling is all about sort of the time I take to sit down and play, as opposed to getting a really like finished masterpiece. If I'm have fun along the way, I'd like to like it at the end, but sometimes I don't. I need some more left so. So for me, it's more about the process of just sitting down and playing, getting messy, and just having fun. And I know sometimes I do weird stuff. Not everyone's cup of tea, but that's alright. I've got a bunch of work to do after I finish the live, so I'm having a bit of fun playing, which is good. I haven't just art journaled for me in so long. It's I don't know when I last did a page just for me with not having to be a class, not having to be a live, not having to be a videoed class. I just need to get back into enjoying crafting. I just don't have time at the moment. Oh, beetroot's not good either. Oh yes, I love beetroot, but yeah, spilling it is not fun. That would be terrible to clean up. Or you spill it in the fridge and then it goes everywhere, and I've done that before. Okay, I'm liking that. Now what? Is that dry enough? When I go to do my pen work, I want the black gesso to be really, really dry. Just give the border a bit of a dry. Sorry, just had to check my phone, it buzzed. I'm just waiting on a text message that I have to look at in action. Okay, yes, so let's do some pen work on her. Let's put the lid back on our gesso, because that would not be fun to drop that either. I do have to get a better setup for a desk. And then I won't be moving things around all the time. Just get rid of this black gesso. I tend to do this with my extra paint, and then I just have pretty papers to use as a background to something. So that is good and dry. Where's my other pen? Nah, we'll go with these two because they're sitting on my desk, unless I can find my other one quickly. That's not a white one. So I've got a couple of white pens. I've got a Signo Broad Jelly Roll pen from Officeworks, a Pintor paint pen, and a Posca paint pen. I'm deciding whether I like Posca paint pens at all. I don't like that they're not very opaque. Apparently these Pintor ones are supposed to be more opaque. I only mopped yesterday. Oh no, Tabitha. At least it's all cleaned up and I can go sit and relax for 5. Yes, definitely. And that's always the way. You always spill something after you just clean up. So I'm just wanting to put some pattern into this hair. And I may not finish all this on camera, because it'll probably take me a while to do. But this is what I envisaged when I designed this stencil. I had great plans to have a lot of examples done when I released my products this month. Oops, didn't happen. I just haven't had time. I've used a couple of the products in classes for the Great Australian Craft Show. If you are subscribing to the $20 a month classroom thing, I am in the classroom subscription. I am in the classroom this afternoon at 4:30 doing some mixed media canvases with my new face stencils. If not, you will see that video in a month's time for free on the Facebook page and the YouTube channel. Them's the rules we follow, so them's the rules we do. So I'm in the classroom every day, 4:30. I was in there yesterday, so that video is in there if you can go and have a look in the Craft Your Life classroom. So the videos go live once a day with the instructors there to chat with, and then they're in like the library. It's almost like YouTube. You can just pick up any video you want and play it anytime you want. So today I'm there at 4:30 doing Mixed Media Canvas. Tomorrow I'm doing some cards, and then on Sunday, unfortunately, it's 8:30 at night because I've got to travel back from Swan Hill, and I'll be doing another art journal page. So I'm just adding some borders in the hair. I was going to add patterns within the stencil, but then I thought, well, people might want to add their own patterns. And I sort of like stencils to have, I'm just going to dry that a bit. When I personally purchase products, I like them to have many uses. So if I'd stuck patterns in here, you would be stuck with the same pattern every time you stenciled. So I thought I'll leave these big gaping holes and make you do all the work. I thought that'd be nice. I like this sort of Zentangling stuff. It calms my mind and sits there, and I always do it straight in pen. I never do it in pencil. The reason I don't do it in pencil, even when I'm not doing it on an art journal page just on a piece of paper, is that if I do it in pencil, my brain thinks I have to get it perfect and I can rub it out. If I do it in pen, my brain has to concentrate a bit more, and I have to concentrate where the lines are going because I cannot rub it out. And it works a bit better for me. Maybe it doesn't for other people. I usually do it when I'm stressed. If I'm having a bad day, I'll sit down and just take some time to either take a stencil and then just trace around it with the pen and fill in with the lines, or I'll just freehand it and do some stuff myself. Now I want to turn my book upside down. I want to do this one. So I'm not doing every piece of hair in the same pattern. I'm going to swap to a different pattern in a minute. Oops. So I'm just putting an outline just inside the black and then just doing some diagonal lines. My neighbours are probably wondering why I'm talking to myself because I'm right near the window and I've got the window open. My neighbours think I'm nuts anyway, so there's nothing new. Okay. This bit. Now where do I want it? What pattern do I want to do next? I want to do like some circly things. So you just got to be careful when you're turning your book around that you're not putting your hand in just fresh gel pen, because this is sort of a paint that comes out and it takes a little bit to dry. All paint pens are like that. I find this broad one is a bit more forgiving and goes over paint and that a bit better than just a normal gel pen. I kill a lot of pens because I am the most impatient person, and I don't tend to wait until things are dry until I go over them. So ideally I'd probably leave this to the next day to put the pen work on it, but we're not doing that today. Just make sure it's completely dry. With the paint pens it's not so much because they've got like a bullet tip on them, but because this has got like a metal, your wet paint gets up in the metal tip and then you just wreck your pen. That won't work. Trying to be good this year and not wreck pens. See how long that lasts. If anyone knows of a really fine, nice white pen, I would love to try something else. I have tried the Delusions ones, but I find they just don't work. They work well for her sort of stuff, which is not over lumpy bumpy stuff, but I found as soon as you get any lumpy bumpy under your pen work, because her paints and inks are really, really smooth, it just doesn't like it. So I'm on the lookout for a good white pen that's like a paint pen, that does a really fine line, even a finer line than this. I've got the dots over here. I sometimes use whiteout pens a fair bit, but with whiteout pens they're quite thick. Now I don't want to do every piece, I want to leave some of it black, but I'm just wondering now which more. I sort of want to have sort of a pattern, a blacker pattern sort of, but not. Does that make sense? Welcome to my brain today, it doesn't make sense. This big black one is annoying me. So let's do something in that. We do a different pattern. I don't really want circles again. We might do loopy loops. We'll do like fish scales, will we? Sort of like circles, but sort of not. So we might just do this all the way down and then come back and do the second layer. So you can basically fill them in with any pattern you like. Whoops. I'm trying to go to the middle of the next loop, but I'm having issues. Oh. I worked out I shouldn't try to come on do lives while I'm tired, but that's me lately. I'm tired all the time. Been working a lot of hours lately just to get stuff done, and had a lot of personal stuff taking away my work hours, so then my work hours start at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night, which is not ideal. But that's life when you're a parent. Now I want to do this one. It's probably really boring watching me sit here and put line work on this. Sorry. I'm probably happy with that sort of. This and not real, I don't know. Let's just put a line around some of these, just to give them a bit of white but no pattern in them. I think I'm liking that a bit better now. I don't know, lately I'm not liking anything I do. I don't know, is it just a phase I'm going through? Nah, it's coming together. As I said, I could sit here all day and fiddle and do lines and do bits. And then knowing when to stop is a hard bit as well. I think I'm stopping on her face because I think I'm done. Now I need something over here. Now what? So I could also go around and add, and I may do that, in certain spots just to highlight the words. So I'm not going to do every bit, just to add a bit of white in that part of the black. So white is great because if you have a bit that's too dark on your page, you can go in and lighten it up, and you can do the reverse as well. If you have a bit too much dark on your page, go over it with some white and it just lightens up. Okay, I'm just picking random bits up here just to outline a little, just to bring a bit of that pop of that white. I'm not being too precious about it, tracing exactly. If it's a little off, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you wanted to, you could go around and outline every bit of it. I find sometimes outlining every bit of something doesn't make it look as good as just outlining a little bit here and here. So going over the napkin, I'm just going to be ever so gentle because this top feels a bit wet still. When I stuck my hand on it, it felt cold. Stuck down, restuck down. So when I'm finished the live, I will put some pictures of this up on the Facebook page. If you want a close-up look. I'm thinking I need a quote here. We might do a big hand-drawn quote. Bearing in mind my handwriting is not the best. And my spelling is even worse, so I'm often putting spelling mistakes in my artworks or scrapbook pages. And of course I don't notice, or the teenager doesn't notice, till I have everything stuck down, and then it's like, it's just going to stay like that. Okay. Now, I just had a thought. I wonder if I could use a stencil as a stencil. Use a stencil as a stencil. See, words today are just, I don't know. It sounds good in my brain, and then when it pops out my mouth, it just doesn't sound good at all. Oh, God. I went to left a message on someone's machine before, and it was like, at the end of it, I go, oh, God, I sounded like a complete idiot. That's okay. They know me quite well, so they probably expect it. Just going to move my paints out of the way so they don't fly off the back of my desk. I just had a thought. I'm going to, here I want to do a quote, and I might look up something in some Delusion stickers and repeat the saying. I want to do like some wavy lines, so I thought this would be cool. Here comes the teenager. Hello, Alexis. Oh, she's come to raid the battery. Something's flat.
Not flat. I want to see if my cloud works.
Oh, you want to see if your cloud light up thing works. Ah.
I need to buy more batteries.
I need to buy more batteries. Yeah, I had to refill my mouse and keyboard yesterday because it was playing up. So I'm just going to use this as a guide to put some wavy lines down. So I'm only going on the top of the line. I'm not going into every section. And then I can come and join these bits up. Because my idea to write, when you do lines like this, you write right up the top to the bottom, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to, let's keep it this way. So I'm just going to sort of move down and even move the stencil sword. This had a good idea in my head. Oh, that way. So this time I'm going to draw on the bottom here. So I just want, I don't mind about the thickness of the lines going here, there and everywhere. And you've got to be careful when you're using a paint pen, the stencil, you don't smudge your lines. Okay, that's looking like I want it. Maybe. I do have to flip that around to get the opposite. So I'm basically just picking what line I want to draw around and just going on one edge for your stencil. Oh, hi Jen, we were talking about you before. Hillbilly Scrapping's just joined my my live. Playing with this new stencil, Jen. Didn't I leave one of these with you at Christmas time when I was up there last? I'm using her hair as doing some journaling lines. I thought I'd use the stencil in a different way. I'm going to go back over these lines, so I'm just doing them lightly. And then I am going to put one there. Probably should have worked out how many lines I needed for my quote, but that's alright, I'll just spread it out. I'm not thinking very far ahead today. Now my paint pen wants to stop. Where was I drawing my line? There. Okay, now I've got some general wiggly lines. Cannot wait to play with this stencil more. Oh, just need to get all my work done. Still have my... I'm just going to thicken these lines up with the Posca pen, and I don't mind that they're a little wiggly. Like they don't have to be completely straight, because I'm not completely straight. I find often my art journaling reflects the day I'm having. I've actually studied a diploma in art therapy, and that was fascinating to look at what colours you pick and what sort of mood you're in. As I said, often my pages are weird because it's the day I'm having. I don't know why I picked these colours today, because probably they were on my desk from yesterday. And trying to do something different. I've been doing a lot of blues and greens lately, so I'm trying to stay away from blues and greens, and even though there's green in this page. Okay. Now I've got some wiggly lines. Let's find a quote. I had some back chat stickers here I got from Jen last time I was up there, so let's find a saying. And we're going to use the saying but not the stickers. Let's talk soon because I missed the sound of my own voice. Oh, maybe that one. I don't play hard to get. I play never going to happen. I don't know what that says. Some of these are jumbled through, so it's hard. I think we're going to go with the first one. It sounds about right. I've been using these a bit lately. Oh, here we go. Oh, this one I might say, but it might... This one I'm going to use. I'm not doing it, people. I'm not doing it. People say I have a bad attitude. I say, screw them. That's terrible, isn't it? But we're going to use that comment. Okay. So, now we're going to work out where I'm going to place this. So, if I start with I'm not doing it, people say I have a bad attitude. I say that. Okay, so that should work. Now, this is a bit forgiving, Andy. Maybe I left one. I can't remember what I left and what I didn't left, Jenny. The only reason I said that is I couldn't go find my copy of the stencil. I had to go pinch one from my stock because it wasn't with all the other stuff I bought up and showed you. I don't know. It's a really cool stencil though. I can't wait to play with it more. Okay. Now, if I have a wet baby wipe ready, because this is acrylic paint, if I make a mistake with my paint marker, okay, when I make a mistake with my paint marker, oh god, I should be able to quickly wipe it off. Should. Let's go with it. Okay. So when I write my letters, I'm going to deliberately go to the top to the bottom and sort of elongate them. So I said, I'm not doing it, people. I'm not doing it, people. Okay. So we're going to start here with I. So I'm going to start with a big I. And then we're going to do a comma. So I'm. So with this type of writing, you extend your letters to go up and down. And it's handy to have a sheet with it written on so I don't make a spelling mistake. So you extend your letters, and it's sort of, your journaling's there, but it's not like in your face there to read. And I'm going to put some highlights on it in a minute and make them a bit thicker. So it's a good way to have journaling that's not sort of really prominent. People have to sort of look to read it. Does that make sense? Clear as mud. I see other YouTubers do this effortlessly, and when I go to do it, it looks like a dog's breakfast. But that's the great thing about art journaling is, but people say I'm just moving my hand so I know what word I'm up to. You don't have to show your art journal to anyone. It can be very personal and very private. Yes, mine gets shown all over the world and over YouTube, but that's a choice I make. Especially when you're working through feelings and having a bad day and just want to have a play. It's a good place just to be yourself. Attitude. I don't have a bad attitude. I just have a very small tolerance for stupid people lately, and I've had my fair share of them to deal with, or dealing with stupid bureaucracy, and I've mixed up little letters and big letters, but that's okay. And then what I want to do, how am I going to do an elongated E? Attitude. I say, okay, so we're gonna, don't know what I'm gonna do at the end of attitude. I've got a big space, but I don't want to start. I want to do I say down here. I might do something there. Do something. It's me lately. I will do something. I'm going to thicken these letters up so you can see them in a minute. I just want to get my spacing right. S A Y. Oh, actually what I might do is bring some hair over here. I want to do this. Oh, look, perfectly fit. Well, sort of. I'm just grabbing them in there. Yep, it's going to fit. But I had a lot of room. I should have started the S back here. Okay. Okay, now I'm just going to make some of the ends of the letters a bit thicker. And now my paint pen's decided it doesn't want to play nice. Come on, paint pen. Come on, be nice. So just going to make some of the ends of the letters a bit fatter, just to fill in the space a bit more. And I'm just going to put some white highlights on them. So it's sort of more going to make the ends of the letters fat, maybe. Maybe this way. I watch a lot of Neve's videos, Neve Bailey, on YouTube with her channel, and she does this lettering just beautifully. And it's like, oh, I wish I could do that. And it just, she looks like she does it so effortlessly as well, which more annoys me because it looks like it's easy and it's not. Straighten my E up a bit. So it looks a bit funny. Oh, I have lots more ideas running through my head with this stencil. I can't wait to play. I wonder if the train driver would be annoyed if I took paints and my art journal and sat there on the train and painted. Probably would. That might be fun. Might be a disaster too. Then again, the train in Melbourne we had the other day had cute little tables, like almost like airline tables behind the seats. I thought, oh, that'd be handy, but I bet the Swan Hill train doesn't have that. Swan Hill we usually get all the old trains. Oops, that A leg is a bit fat. I'm going to turn my book upside down and see if this works. Because I don't want to put my hand. Jenny, it probably is here. With all the new stock you're getting in, Jen, do you really know what you've got? It's like Aladdin's cave every time I go up there. There's stuff everywhere. Love some of the new stock you're getting in. Just looks beautiful. Trying to be good though. It's like, do I really need new stuff? Yeah, of course I do. What are we doing? I have, that's an E. Trying to work out what letter I'm colouring in. This is probably harder doing it upside down, but that's right, I like doing things the hard way. Then I'm going to put some white highlights on here, and I think we might be just about done. I'll turn it upside down and see it up the right way and see if it needs anything else. Probably need something here, so I might extend some of the hair out just to fill in the gap. So at the moment it looks a bit gappy. So be a bit more careful when you go over the napkins because it's a bit more texture. Oh, that's that little doohickey. Especially because I think that napkin might be still a bit wet up there, so I'm going to be ever so careful. I don't want to kill another paint pen. It gets expensive when I keep killing my paint pens. Or losing them. That's the other problem. Things go missing in my stash. Spend half the time looking for stuff. It's my year to get organised this year. Everything has a home, so when I finish with it, it goes back. And then I can find it again. See how long that lasts. I've got to put things back. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to extend her hair here. That will look really cool. While that dries, actually, we might just give it a quick buzz because I don't want to smudge it. I'm going to put some white highlights on that, but I want that to totally be dry. I'm going to fill in this gap with more hair because you cannot have enough hair. Now I just want it to, I sort of want to get the angle right. I want it to look like it's flowing, not just look like it's stuck there. I think that might be the right angle there. Coming down there. So I'm just going to pick what strands. I'll pick what strands I do. I was just thinking I might do it with the gesso, but I think I'm just going to colour it in because I'm not doing all the stencil. Come on, paint pen. Be nice today. I just had a thought and thought, oh, I could gesso it, and then I thought, well, no, I'm not doing the whole complete bit, and I'm not doing it everywhere, so we're going to put some sketchy lines in, and then we are going to colour them in. That would be the safer option. And it means also I can decide where my line is going to start, so I've just started just under the text. Oops. Just going to see what time it is. Oh wow, it's nearly 2 o'clock. I've only been going for an hour and a half. Where does the time fly? Tabitha, you're right. Paint pens are a business expense. I wonder if they are if I lose them. Yes. I need them for my work. It's like, I need the scan and cut, don't I, Tabitha? Tabitha's got a YouTube channel and she has a brother scan and cut, and I've been admiring one for ages, so I'd have to fussy cut everything out. I don't mind fussy cutting, but it annoys me. But I'm convinced I need a scan and cut. Maybe. Or some type of machine so I can stamp images and cut them. Now I just want to add a little bit of hair here. Just trying to get the right bit with the right angle. Oh. There we go. I forgot I could turn my stencil over. That's how tired I am today. I can't even think of the normalest things. Okay, let's colour that in. Yeah, I sure do, Tabitha. Well, I know where I can come if I've got problems. It'd be like, Tabitha, it doesn't want to work. I mind them ever since they come out, but I don't know. I haven't jumped in, and one day my eyesight gets any worse, I might have to. And I apologise if my head comes into frame in a minute, because I have to be quite close when I'm colouring. Because I have quite low vision, and some days it's terrible. I might have to go over this twice, just to get it as black as the other ones. And this Dina Wakley paint that I used has a bit of a gloss to it as well, so sometimes you find some paint pens just don't like going over paint, some certain types of paint. Sometimes they'll go over really nicely, sometimes you'll just have issues. And that goes for the matte medium too, that we stenciled, that we put down with the napkins. Sometimes your paint pens will like it, sometimes it just won't like it over the top. This is painstakingly colouring in. Hi Debbie. You can always go watch it on replay, Debbie. Yes, Tabitha. Every time Tabitha complains, I tell her to send her scanner cut down to me. Gail can keep trying, can't I, Tabitha? Maybe I have to come up and visit you, Tabitha, and then I can have a go at one, and then decide if I really need one. Nara's not that far away. It'd only be about 13 hours to Sydney, and then whatever hours to Nara on a train. Might have to do that one day, Tabitha, when the world settles down and travelling settles down. Come up and visit one day. Just going to give that a bit of a dry. Hang on. Sorry, just catching up in comments. Did I miss when the new items are being released? Debbie, I did a short video yesterday showing this stencil and a bunch of other stuff. This white mixed media cardstock and a bunch of other stuff. So scroll back down through the feed or go into the video tab. I showed the new napkins earlier, just before this video, that Alexis is releasing, because I forgot them yesterday and she politely told me after she watched the live. She couldn't have told me while the live was happening, so I could remember. And all the new products are on my what is it? Website. Oh God, I'm tired. Can't think of words. I just want a little bit to go here because that gap is annoying me, so I'm just trying to pick which one. So we'll be bringing a lot of these new products. Well, if no one leaves me any after the Great International, what are we doing? The Great International Craft Show. I will be bringing a bunch of the new stuff to the Hillbilly Retreat that's happening in Echuca in a fortnight's time. Basically, I'll be there in a fortnight's time. The only thing I'm low on is stencils. So if you see a stencil that sells out, I've put some aside for the Hillbilly Retreat. So whatever doesn't sell there will come home. And then we will have more stock. Probably it's just been delayed again. Probably middle of March our stencil plastic will come in. But I will be taking orders for the stencils and put you on a wait list. You don't have to pay for them until my stencil plastic comes in case life happens and it gets delayed again or transport things happen. Now I want to do some patterns in there and then I think we're done. For an hour, but an hour and a half we're still going. If something on the website is in chipboard or the white mixed media cardstock, at the moment all the website products are I've got cut and ready to go and in boxes. So you can just order, and it's easy for me to pick. This February is just a super busy month, so I didn't put back on all the older products that I cut as you order them, because I just, to be honest, there's that much personal stuff going on, I just don't have time. And I thought that's better taking it off than you ordering and then I delaying your order because I just can't find the hours in the day to go do it. So everything on the website is pre-cut, ready to go. It's easy to pick orders like that, but if something in chipboard or white mixed media cardstock run out, or a foam stamp, email me and I can organise to cut some for you. And I will be stuff back in stock when probably towards the end of February. Clear as mud, right? Yeah, clear as mud. And I'm trying to build up our show stock as well. We're hopefully starting in-person shows, if that lovely C word stays away from everyone. You all know what I mean. So our first show is actually in Bendigo in the middle of March. So I'm building up stock levels as well. I can probably give you the dates if I will be putting events up with all the dates on Facebook for the shows. So Bendigo Picture to Page show is the 19th and 20th. No, it's not. It's the 20th and 21st of March, which is a Saturday and Sunday. So in Bendigo at the Bendigo show. Oops. Trying to scroll the comments and I just lost my feed thing. Thanks, Debbie. Life's a bit confusing at the moment, and so is my business. There's a lot going on. Someone said I had a full plate the other day. I said, yeah, I have a full plate plus dessert and 2 helpings of that. I don't know what I'd do if my life settled down and was quiet. I don't think I'd know what to do with myself if I didn't have 50 million reasons to get up every day and deal with the world. So the only thing I have to do is put white on my title and then I'm done. Because I've been very naughty and I've got to go film Sunday's video before I get in the train tonight for the Craft to Life classroom. I just didn't get the 4th one done, just couldn't manage it before Wednesday. Shouldn't take that long. I know what I'm doing, which shouldn't take that long to film. Just me procrastinating about it. So now I'm just going to put some highlights on my text, because at the moment I've got lots of highlights on my person and none on my text, and I've got highlights around that corner, around the edge. Really liking this page. Not so much my colour, but I do like what I've done. Maybe I repeat more colours I like. Now when I'm highlighting words, I like to do it consistently on the same side or the same. You either go top and left or bottom and right, doesn't matter which one, but it looks a bit more consistent when you just put a shadow on one side. So we're going to go top and we're going to go left. So I'm just going to go and put a scratchy line on the left of the letters, stuffed up already, on the second letter, because that's alright. So we're just going to sort of put a highlight on the left and sort of on the top, not tracing the letter completely, but just adding a little bit of left that way, little bit of a shadow. And I usually get halfway done and then go, I don't know what I'm doing, and then I'm usually swap to the right and the bottom, and so it's nice if you do it consistently. Oh, the S, I forgot about this. It up because it looks funny. Let's thicken it up a bit, and I'll come back and put the white on it, because if I put my white pen into that wet black paint, that will end in disaster. I'm hoping to start back up regular lives between the craft, like this is obviously for the Great International Craft Show. I'm hoping to do a weekly regular live But looking in my diary, I was trying to dedicate a Pacific time and a Pacific day. Yeah. Didn't happen. So I was going to have that organised and sort of let you all know. So just like the Facebook page, and I'll give you as much notice as I can to come on and do some lives once a week. It's just I couldn't find a consistent day when I could say, yes, for example, this day of the week at this time I'll be live every week. So I will endeavour, I will say it this way, I will endeavour to do a live once a week, but the days and the times may change just because life has that effect on me lately. I tend to make plans and then life goes, nah, you're not going to do that. We're going to throw a spanner in it and you're going to do something different, which is always fun. So if you have any suggestions on what particular products or sort of techniques you want to see in a live, just send me a message or pop a note book and I'll see if I can accommodate. I'm sort of I suppose the idea of the lives will be to show you different ways to use the products that I make and manufacture, either in an art journal page. I will be doing some scrapbook pages, some cards as well, just showing you different ways to use things. I'm hoping to get a bit more organised and sort of know what I'm doing before I start and hit live on the camera, not like today where I knew I sort of wanted to do something but made up as I went along. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Lost most of the napkin over here, but you can still sort of see it. I think we might call that finished. So thank you very much for everyone that has stuck around and watched me play in my art journal. Show you different ways you can use the face stencil, and I can't wait to use it again. Oh, no. Hopefully it's dry. So as I said, I'll be with Hillbilly Scrapping at the weekend and we'll do some lives together. They will be on Hillbilly Scrapping's live on Facebook page, but I'll also share the page so you can catch it here as well. You can like both pages and you'll get notifications. Tabitha? Thanks, Debbie. Something different. I know I do different stuff. I look at art journals other people do and I'm going, my stuff is never sort of that, I don't know, that pretty or that, oh, not really pretty, but mine's sort of a bit weird and very different. Like I can usually look at a different, for example, Neve Bailey, she has a certain style and you can always recognise her work, where my work's a bit more anything goes, but that's half the fun of it. Other art journalists without knowing it's their work because they've got a distinct style, but mine's sort of just a bit of everything, but I think that's fun. Thank you very much for watching, and this will be recorded up on Facebook if you want to watch it again and listen to me again. Do the page and follow along. Catch you tomorrow sometime. We'll post times when we work them out for tomorrow of what we'll be up to, and we'll give you as much notice as we can. Bye for now. Thank you very much.